If we keep going to God with our prayers and petitions for thanksgiving, constantly to the Lord, surrendering it over to Him, it's like these guardrails are going up that's going to protect us from falling into the trap of a despair. You know, in Philippians chapter 4, and that's something that
That's my favorite.
Yeah, since everything with diagnosed with cancer, and that was such a powerful verse that
Cast your cares upon the Lord, and He gives you a peace and grace beyond understanding. Philippians 4, 6 through 7.
And then in 7, it talked about it will guard your heart and your mind. That like it will, if we cast our cares onto the Lord, and if we trust in Him, He's like putting up these guardrails for us that we don't fall into despair, that we don't fall into worry. I mean, it's there, but He's guarding us. He's guarding our minds and guarding our hearts so we can stay focused in this. A lot of times I think we can get caught up and we can get just so focused on the hurt and the pain and the despair that it's like drawing us down. And like, you know, you don't drive down the road staring at the ditch, right? You have to stay focused on what's ahead. And that's Christ, right? Keeping our eyes on Christ during these struggles and casting our cares upon Him and seeking His will. But then there's going to be times where we're going to be tempted to look, but those guardrails, if we keep going to God with our prayers and petitions for thanksgiving, constantly to the Lord, surrendering it over to Him, it's like these guardrails are going up that's going to protect us from falling into the trap of a despair, of what if this happens, or what if that happens, and all those things that can really steal and rob the joy and put fear and doubt and despair, which doesn't do anything fruitful for a relationship.
When I find myself, or any of us find ourselves in a place of worry, and then we go into a decision, making a decision, or pondering or thinking about a situation that we're in, and we're already in that state of worry. Worry is a feeling, it's an anxiety that already is no man's land.
Yeah.
When we're in that state of worry, and then we're weighing out pros and cons, that anxious worry feeling, it just spirals like this. And then everything, for every pro, you can think of a con, and it just spins like this, because God is not in that. Because with worry, there's anxiety and there's fear. But if we go into those same situations, and before that, when we say, cast your cares upon the Lord, cast your cares. Cares, I would consider cares as worries, as anxieties, as fears. First, before I even consider those decisions that I have to make, the situations that I have weighing on me, first, before I even begin, every single morning, I go down into my living room, and I have a crucifix, and I have a picture of all of my children, and I have a picture of my family all together. And it's like I drag and click like a mouse. I drag and click each person towards the cross, like I'm handing them over to the foot of the cross, because I know I will never fulfill each of these people. I can't fulfill every need as a mom and as a wife. I'll never be enough. So I put them all at the foot of the cross right there. And I'm casting all of my worries that I have of what I can't be enough for to Him. Cast your cares upon the Lord, and He'll give you peace and grace beyond understanding. Go into those situations of worry or anxiety, already giving it to God. And then you're allowing Him to enter in to make that decision with you. It's not just saying, like, when people say, oh, you have 5 kids, so you're just, like, letting God decide how many kids you have? I'm like, no. It's with consideration with God, prayerful consideration with God. Every child was a consideration. We prayed, and we asked God with every job, every move, everything we do. It's not like we pray before we decide what restaurant we choose, but every big decision in our life is with prayerful consideration with God. First, casting our worries to God and saying, God, take this from us, but then help us and open the doors you want open and close those doors you want closed, so that we can walk through the doors that you know are best for our family. And that's been just glorious for us to help us peacefully, and sometimes not peacefully when we know we didn't do that right.
Yeah.
But peacefully go through life and through some of the bumpiest roads of our life. And we're still going through right now, still some really bumpy roads. I'm not done with my infusions. They've told me I'm going to be doing infusions forever. And that's still a very tough pill to swallow. I have to swallow that pill both, in every sense of the word, every day. But I have to cast that over to God every day, and God gives us the graces. I'm not made of anything different from anybody else, but God is giving us the graces.
It's a whole different way of seeing things, right? I mean, because if you even think about someone who doesn't have any illness, has everything that they need financially, all these things, you still know that those things don't last as far as the joy that our hearts long for. It's like, you want to have happiness for, a day, go watch a good movie, maybe eat a good meal. You want happiness for a month, go buy a brand new car, but like it fades, right? And but when we're going to God and we're trusting in Him, there's a joy that's and a grace and a peace that's beyond understanding. It's hard to explain.
You can't explain it to anybody.
It's hard to explain. You got to enter into that mystery.